Okay. Okay. I'll try. Are we ready?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to call this meeting to order, and let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. I would like us to go around and take attendance, please. I'm Deb Freno from Sumner.
Liz Coombs, Sumner.
Kristen Chapman, Sumner.
Jesse Wallingford, Sumner. Neil Austin, Buckfield. Dick Tift, Buckfield.
Aaron Hinckley, Buckfield.
Isaac Neil Austin, Parkland.
Michelle Casey, Buckfield.
Thank you. The first thing on our agenda is to review and approve minutes from the last two meetings. However, because Kristen Collins is on a time deadline, I would like to suggest that we postpone that and we go on to executive session to meet with Kristen and Connie.
Second that.
All in favor? Okay.
Bear with me. Learning as I go here. It's good, George.
Yes, please.
So should we shut it?
One.
Mhm.
In case somebody wants to.
Oh,
Oh, if we're in executive session. Yeah. Hi, Becky. I don't think I did it. Chad is there. There's nobody over here.
Come hang out with me.
yet.
Yep, we're
Okay,
good.
so we need to go back to number two. To review the minutes from 5:21 and 6:4.
Are we gonna take those together?
We can.
Sure.
Well, no, 6-4 was when?
That was
Last Thursday.
Last Thursday.
That I missed in half the place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So I think we need to separate it.
okay,
Good call.
all right. I need a motion to approve the 5:21 minutes.
Second.
All in favor? Okay. Those of you that were not at the meeting last Thursday cannot vote on this one. So I need a motion to approve the minutes from 6:4.
Well, technically, then we can't approve it though.
Right.
Because if there was only 6 people. Right, that's why we
It wasn't a
couldn't.
quorum anyways, so therefore
All
we
right.
didn't have a meeting.
Okay.
Good point.
It was an unofficial meeting.
Can I make a motion that we put the minutes into our log and,
As long as everybody else that wasn't there can vote, sure. Because then we'll have a quorum.
okay, I think so.
I'm fine with
What
it.
do you think? Is that
As
reasonable?
far as making it public record, I'm fine with it.
Motion to post the public record as unofficial minutes from that meeting.
Second.
All in favor? Thank you. Okay, old business. We just went over the withdrawal agreement with Kristen and Connie. And we were gonna talk about the staffing structure, but we did not. I think we'll do that, on Thursday.
We have Connie here.
Oh, we do have Connie here.
We have Connie for
Half an hour.
half an hour.
Be a good time to work through some of
Okay,
that.
Connie, do you wanna work on the staffing structure?
There you go. So I want to be upfront with you. The costs that I'm giving to Neil to put in the budget, which sounds like it's due in the next 48 hours, are the ones that the subcommittee consensus was around with, except one person. Where's my contrarian? Michelle, where are you? So, duly noted that it was not a consensus, but the majority of people there seemed to agree with it. And underscored is the reality that all of this can be changed. It's not set in stone, but you are under a time crunch to get something together. And so I've been using, for example, the central office costs, the staffing recommendations, the things such as one person to oversee maintenance and transportation as a supervisor, as the things that I've been giving to Neil to put in the budget.
Okay.
I guess tonight would be the night if you don't want to go forward with that, to let us know so I can make those changes again.
I don't think everybody in this committee has actually seen this. Could we go through this line by line? And last I knew, I thought we were waiting for everybody to be here so we could vote on accepting this plan.
Yes, we
True.
were supposed to do that last time. Yes.
Okay. So is that the consensus of the group? Do you want to go through this by category?
Yes.
I think yes, if you want to leave that, everybody has a copy in front of them.
All right. So the beginning is the school board. The group identified 10 positions. As I told the group the last time on the 4th, Michelle, I don't think you were here that night. I learned something from you. I should have known that you get $10 a meeting. That's something I never knew. 40 years as a superintendent. So thank you. New learning for me. So those are the amounts that we agreed to. I mentioned this at least twice now, maybe more than that. Whoever is on the board, when they start out with the new SAU or RSU, you're going to be doing at least 3 contracts, maybe 5. And I talked to a superintendent who was the Richmond interim, and I said, well, how many contracts did you do? And he said they were all done. I didn't have to do any. And I said, well, if you were the interim in this position, how would you feel about doing 5 contracts? And he said, that's all I would do. So I continue to recommend that number. Michelle?
Okay, 5 contracts, I could see, yes, if you were doing 5 contracts in 1 year, but they're spread out.
Well, you're going, so I don't know, does anybody know if the ed tech contract settled with RSU 10?
Close. I think we're voting on it next meeting.
Okay, so let's assume that one's pretty much done. So you have the teachers, you have the administrators are good for a year. You have the nutrition contract, you have the bus driver's contract. I saw something go by today. I can't remember who sent me that. Might have been Deb regarding a conversation with the bus garage.
Yes.
That's going to be, it sounds like it's going to be a contentious agreement.
Uh-huh.
Particularly around salaries, having negotiated those contracts before, they take a lot of time and they are contentious. So that's 3. Custodians, I think, is another one. So anyway, it's 4.
Yeah, I
It's
know there's 7 contracts, but they're not all done in 1 year.
Right.
They're spread out.
I agree with that, but though all of those dates, all the contracts that I just mentioned expire in 2027 or so whoever is coming on, administrators is 28, teachers is 27, nutritionists 27, custodians, transportation. So you can check the dates, but I'm standing by my number for negotiations.
Okay.
I did
Okay,
reduce.
as far as the money,
Yeah, just the money.
oh, I don't care about that.
Okay.
That's-
Never
And some of these things you're going, so I also told you I do a transition budget for you, and I will. I want to have this meeting and possibly Thursdays before I do that, because some of these costs may be in your transition budget. And I talked to Kristen Collins about how much money you have left in your fund for your withdrawal agreement. And I think you are in a really good position. At least I haven't confirmed this with the 3 towns, but you're going to have some money left. And I think you'll be able to pay for quite a bit of your costs with what you have left. So, so some of these things, for example, to start July 1, 27, you have to have school board legal liability insurance. So that's going to have to come out of your transition budget. You're going to have a cost for legal. So some of these things are going to be in that budget. Rolling through central office staffing. Everybody ready to move to that?
Can we pause for just a moment, Connie, and before you move on to central office staffing? I'm kind of holding fast on thinking that Sumner doesn't need to have 3 school board members, so that we should probably have 9 instead of 10 positions. So I'm not, sure about that, but if we are going to go and vote on this at some point, then I just want to make sure that my opinion is out there that Sumner should not have 3, particularly when you think that there are a lot of the staff who live here and families are not going to be able to serve in the role of school board if their families are employed there. So we just have to really think about that. So when we do make that decision, it's going to be a lot of work. It's going to be hard to get people on that first school board for the first year who are ready to buckle down and do the hard work. So I am concerned that Kristen Collins had said that once we set that number, we cannot go back and change that. So
for the purpose of budget, and I hear what you're saying, it's $1,200, and I'd leave it as it is right now because that's not a lot of money. I mean, if you reduce it by that figure, my hunch is that it will get absorbed some other place. I think you make a really good point, but for the purpose of budget right now, I'd leave it alone.
yeah, okay.
So rolling on to central office, the committee recommended that the suit be employed for 3 days a week. And Neil, I think we left in benefits for the superintendent, didn't we? Or did we not? I don't remember.
I'll look and get back to you.
Okay. So that is something to consider. And then I went on about job descriptions. I think you're going to have a job description for the superintendent. For example, later on in the memo, the superintendent also does grant management for your titles, Title I, Title II, Title IV, 5, etc. as does the business manager and the special ed director. So those salaries are here for consideration. I recommend that the central office employ an administrative assistant full-time, and that person would be the receptionist. She'd also be the secretary for minutes, agendas, posting. She'd provide human resource support, maintains files, posting vacancies, ensure hiring, and provides clerical support to the special ed director. That salary I benched against an MSMA number. I got the data from them. And I also looked to what RSU 10 pays for benefits. That's where the 33,600 comes from. And I goosed it a little bit because we're talking a year from now, when this person would actually come on board. So, and then some of the other things, PD, travel, cleaning services, copier lease, and so on. Those are things that are in the budget that Neil and I are working on. Business manager, full-time, 103. That could be low. I looked at what Leah's making. I looked at the area. I looked at what business managers are currently making. The benefits, I think, are pretty much spot on, but the salary may be problematic. So we'll see how that goes. But for now, I think you can put it in your budget. Supervises the business office, procures bids, negotiates with vendors, oversight of contracts. And by that, I mean things like copy releases, buses, vans, EEI. Is that Kristen? Kristen?
Yes, I just didn't want to interrupt. Was the consensus of the committee to have the business manager full-time or maybe not full-time?
Full-time.
I wanted full-time, but I didn't say anything about having an administrative assistant. So I was, in my mind, it was superintendent, 60%, full-time business manager, full-time payroll HR, no administrative assistant, 60% special ed director. But because I don't think that was under that category, I think when the administrative assistant was under buildings, grounds, and transportation in our first set of documents.
So that's a question I have maybe a little bit later in this discussion. I would ask you if there's no administrative assistant, I don't know who's going to be managing your HR paperwork. I don't know.
Payroll HR.
Phone.
That's what I had in my mind. But anyway, we'll just go with this. Like you said, it's not set in stone. But I thought that the administrative one was under a different heading.
Well, when we get to transportation, Michelle, I'm glad you raised that because I was unclear what the staffing was in that office. So if everybody can hang on for just a minute, let's go to the rest of the business office. Accounts payable, accounts receivable, and payroll, one position. That's the going rate for payroll person right now, same benefits. The curriculum responsibilities, the committee recommended would need to go to principals. That will have to be negotiated because it's a change in working conditions for them. The committee felt that it wasn't a deal breaker, that they would be probably the first line of curriculum work anyway. I have left in, Neil, I think we left in the curriculum specialist work, or did we take that out under the curriculum office? I think we might have taken it out.
I think we did too. Wasn't that the $40,000?
And while Neil is checking on that, when I went through the work on, I think it was Saturday or Sunday, I don't know in the first year how much curriculum work is going to get done. So that's a figure that you might need to add for the second year of the new district. but I'm not sure you want to put that in the first year.
Where are you talking about?
So this is under the Office of Curriculum. It's not in my memo. I'm sorry if I confused you, but I did remove it. And Neil, I think it's like,
Yes, yeah,
40.
you were, so. Yeah, we have a $0 for that amount.
So this
Yeah,
is,
curriculum's gonna go in another heading under,
Right.
not in systems administrations, that's gonna go down to this, like the principal level.
right. That's the thinking. So just FYI, I have taken that out. Under technology, the committee felt that a contract with a contracted service would be the way to go. Neil felt like that was a good hourly rate. Any questions about technology support? And this is system-wide. These aren't the tier 1 techs in each of the buildings.
No, that's just.
The level 1 techs,
Are in the buildings.
right, and their salaries are all grouped together district-wide.
Right,
And
so I'm
that's
gonna
something
send
we
an
have to
email.
tease
Yeah,
out.
to Leah. Yep.
So there's that. Special ed director was a 60% position. That was a consensus. Benefits are negotiable for that. Buildings and grounds, the director's position would be one full-time position. We had a lot of discussion about that. And I think Nick finally came to the realization that this is somebody we need. Michelle.
When I went home, because maintenance never came up during our conversation, and when I got home, I said, oh my God, we need that. Because we need somebody to oversee building projects and make sure they're done. So I did agree on that when I was home.
Credit for it.
At least I think things through. I don't just,
I'm kind of happy that you just said all
don't
that.
just say no and stand.
So that's the rest of the memo. Things that you're going to have to think about, and some of this will be in the transition budget. That's number 1. And I think when the committee met on Thursday, a group decided that they would explore central office locations. Is that right? That they have a subcommittee that would do that?
Well, right, so we were going to bring it to the committee to see if we wanted to vote on, have a subcommittee to look at possible central office locations. So we'll have to see if we want to do that.
Love to put that up on the agenda somewhere.
So do we need a vote to approve of Connie's recommended staffing levels for the district-wide administrative positions?
I just have one more question first. Oh, on that part, never mind. Mine's in the consideration, so I'll wait.
Well,
Any thoughts? on
anybody
this?
else that deals deep in school board and budget stuff have any concerns or recommendations based on what we came up with, I guess?
I think this works.
Okay.
Aaron, what do you think?
Technology was the one I had a question on, but he said it'll work, and I know that's his business.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'm a little stuck on full-time business manager. I'm not sure that I feel 100% that we need a full-time. Maybe more rationale as to why they felt full-time made the most sense would help.
Like I said, I didn't want an administrative assistant, so somebody was gonna be here full-time. It was gonna be the business manager. I didn't necessarily think that we needed a full-time payroll, but these positions are gonna be hard to fill at part-time. So
Right.
I thought with the 3-person central office, other than the buildings and grounds transportation person, that we could work. I mean, we have less than 500 kids.
Right.
We don't need to have a huge central office. I mean, I know you gotta find the perfect person who's knowledgeable in multiple things, but I mean, any of those 3 people should be able to run a copier any of those three people should be able to take notes.
I think
Fill
we-
the
It's the board
HR,
meetings.
do the reporting.
Yeah.
Meetings and stuff like that.
Well, I can see why you would need an administrative assistant, especially if they're doing clerical work for special ed. Right. I understand that.
Well, yes, if you, yeah, clerical work with special ed's probably
But
gonna
I'm
be
just
needed.
not 100% certain that full-time business. I know they have a lot, but where we're so small, does it make sense?
If we spread out the grant money,
Like the title
the
funding.
title funding to the business manager as well, we'll make sure that we don't miss out on any of that title funding. And that's more than $1 million.
That's what a curriculum coordinator has been doing.
Right.
So that would
Right.
have to roll into the responsibility in our job description for the,
Business manager.
I was gonna say, doesn't it
No.
say that's under superintendent or no?
No, it says,
Yes, it does.
in
So,
between.
so the superintendent, the business manager, and the special ed director all share responsibility for the grants. And that is the Richmond model.
Okay.
So Aaron, are you asking us to consider not a full-time administrator? I mean,
Business manager.
no, the assistant administrator, right? That's what you said.
No, I can see needing the
Okay.
administrative assistant, especially if they're helping with special ed.
Okay.
That
Gotcha.
in itself is gonna be hefty.
I know what you're saying, Aaron, with the business manager. The only thing is trying to hire that position part-time. I know that might be a challenge, especially, think of all the work, especially budget time. And then negotiations. If you don't have a superintendent that's strong in that business manager becomes really important in helping with that.
Bye, Becky.
No, Business manager usually just tells you what you can afford to bargain with.
No, she runs a lot of the numbers.
Well, yeah.
She's actually excellent in negotiations.
But what are we saving by dropping out of part-time anyways?
30 grand.
How much?
30 grand maybe?
Right.
50,
Huh?
50 plus benefit negotiation.
Well, I guess I'm just saying for what we're trying to accomplish right now, I guess it's not a massive number. Right?
No, but everything adds up.
Well, something the school board could change after too.
Right.
and you have to think about who's going to want to come on board a brand new RSU part-time.
Well, that's, yeah, I guess,
And a lot of the headache, I think that first year, you're gonna need a.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can get
And it-
behind that.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's easier to add than it is to cut them. But anyway, I mean, it's not like anybody's being held to it. We gotta get a number somewhere.
Right.
Yeah,
And if we don't like that number, then we can start, after we get that one thing, we can start saying, whoa.
well, that's what I was thinking,
Where
right?
can we
yeah, that's a good point.
go from there?
So do we need to vote on this?
Yes, we do.
I move that we move with Dr. Brown's recommendations on the staffing levels.
Second,
All in favor? Okay, it's unanimous, Connie.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
thank
So
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for this work, Connie. It's really appreciated.
Yes,
Oh,
thank you
you're
for your
welcome.
work.
One thing-
I can't tell you how much I enjoy working with Neil, who is just a whiz with this stuff. So very grateful. So going through the considerations, I think, Michelle, you had a footnote there. I think that the office renovations will be covered in your transition budget. So I wouldn't sweat that. Conference space, I don't know when you're going to decide on who's searching for a superintendent's office, but if there's a lease payment, it's got to be in the budget soon.
I mean, what were you thinking about the superintendent office being in the same spot as central office?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I think it was the specialist wages and specialist, whatever, specialist benefits. What's that?
So
You have to
those
talk
are,
to me.
yeah, those are costs, Michelle, I've taken out. And
Oh,
the rationale was because I don't know how much truthfully curriculum work is going to get done the first year you're in business. So that may be something that you can push off to 27, 28, 28, 29, but I took it out. And that was a unilateral decision that I made. You could put it back in if you want to do that.
So this is curriculum, wage, and benefits.
That's right. So that number comes from the teacher's contract for RSU 10. It's what was budgeted for the RSU 10 budget. As I said, I took it out. I didn't know what the new district would do for curriculum work. It's just getting its feet under it. So I thought that could come out now.
Okay.
But that's up to you folks. That's just my musings aloud here.
We could add it in part-time for in our second year.
Yeah, absolutely.
In Dixfield, what they do is supposedly the principal who does the curriculum, that's what he does during the summer. So his wage is broken up between principal and curriculum coordinator with the hours separated accordingly. I don't know what his pay is, if that's close to the summer salary or not.
Like, I think that's certainly a model that you could look at. It may be in year two, but I think for year one, it's premature.
Okay.
You haven't even negotiated with the principals yet what that wage is going to look like for those responsibilities.
Right.
So, and then job descriptions, I've already said that somebody at some point is going to have to write job descriptions for the positions that you have in.
Can we get the descriptions off of the DOE website and then add or subtract from those?
I don't know. I don't think the DOE website has job descriptions, but you can certainly steal them from another school department quite easily. It can help you get them.
Okay.
I mean, they're public information. It's not a big secret. So as you get down the road, you can amend them to, if you end up with the staffing that you passed tonight, you can match job descriptions. But your most imminent issue right now is to get a rough budget together for, which sounds like Thursday.
Yeah. So go ahead.
Well, I mean, do we need it by Thursday or just as long as it's given to them by next Monday, because that's the 15th?
Right.
I would say Thursday, because they're
I would
gonna have
say
to look at
Thursday.
it, right? To be able to discuss it.
Consensus needs to agree on it before we submit it.
You're not gonna like it.
Well, then we need to know that.
What time do they need it on Monday, the 15th?
6:30, maybe a little earlier to go out to
Yeah.
package.
So Connie, you and I are gonna have to get together, Zoom or whatever, or just a phone call to go over this line by line on the system-wide stuff. Because, I'm gonna send an email to Leah, hopefully she'll get back to us ASAP on a lot of this stuff, but there are a lot of lines on here that's grouped.
So what I'll do is I'll go through the emails I got from Kristen and Deb either tonight or tomorrow, and Neil, I'll pick away at it and send you new numbers as I go through it. And some of this, is a best guess. Like we talked about custodians. I will have to estimate based on the number that I've seen of how many salaries actually are attributed to the new school district. And then there's some other 8. That's right. That's in one of my emails. But there's some other things that you all should think about that are unrelated to RSU 10. But one is, I don't know if you have any reserve accounts in RSU 10. I didn't see any. That's something that you should think about as a group, is setting up reserve accounts for things like special education. A lot of districts do that. Some districts do contingency accounts just to have a place in case another count goes over. Ideally, the number is 5% for that. I know we can talk about fund balance down the road. But some of those things I want to seed with you because they're important in the event that you have an unexpected expense. I think I read somewhere that transportation for RSU 10 for special ed went over like 100 and something thousand this year. That's a lot of money.
Well,
So-
can I ask a question? Did anybody see when we were talking to the lawyer that every year that RSU 10 usually has a carryover of over $1 million? I'm hoping we'll have some of that.
I would assume it'd be broken down to that 31 point whatever
But
percent.
that is a good question
That
to
could
have.
be
Right,
a
follow up.
base,
We did talk about that a few meetings back with Kristen.
right, but I didn't notice if it was in there because I wasn't really reading it.
Right. Nick, do you want to shoot Kristen an email tonight about
It might be in.
carryover and if we're going to get a portion of that and should that be part of the agreement? Because I don't remember it in the agreement.
I think it should be part of the agreement,
It
yeah.
should be, if we have to
Oh,
pay the
when-
bills, we have to. we
Right,
should get
because
ours.
our tax dollars was put into that.
Right.
Right.
So, I mean,
And
that's
maybe that portion we can
right.
designate for
Right.
a
We went
reserve
over that
account.
like the first time we went over the whole agreement
Right.
line by line. I thought she said that that was in there, but I don't.
Because like Connie, one of the things that we have to discuss, again, this is again the information from Leah, is just the bus driver and van driver for system-wide is $1 million. And that doesn't even cover benefits, that's just wages. So I can't imagine that we're at $500,000 for just our two schools. So the rate right there is gonna drop $500,000 off. That, because right now we're $7 million in the red, over what we're paying in.
So one of the things, when you talk to Kristen, about your fund balance, and I think I did see in one of the drafts go by, you want to name the year that fund balance is audited. And auditors are a year behind right now. So if your withdrawal date is whatever it is, December of 26, then you want the audited fund balance for December of 26 or June. The actual date is June of 26. Or you may want it to be June of 27, but understanding that that's going to be a 2-year lag for the money to actually get to you. So get it on Kristen's radar. Make sure she knows who is the auditor for you folks for RSU 10.
No idea.
You probably want to know that RKO, which is Runyon, Christine, and Willette, usually does the bigger districts. They're behind. Royer does a lot of school districts. So I don't know who does yours, but that's something you want to know.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to sign off. Email me freely, and Neil, I'll keep sending you information, and if we need to have a phone conversation towards the end of the week, we'll see what we can come up with for a time.
Sounds good, thank you.
Okay, thanks all. Bye-bye.
Thank
Bye.
you. So one of the things I just want to bring up, just for back in the subconscious, I just looked at Dixfield's new budget, RSU 56. They are at, for this coming year, just a couple bucks shy of 16 million.
Okay.
They have 200 kids more than us, and they have 3 buildings instead of 2.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see why we can't cut that down. Now, obviously, that doesn't, that 16 million is the expenses piece only. That doesn't count what they're getting in. That's just what they are going to be spending for their budget.
Okay.
So if we minus a building, we minus 200 kids, which means less staff.
And you would think their bus route's a lot bigger than ours
Right.
too, from
I mean,
Harvard. It's huge.
we've got to be able to cut that down a lot more than that.
You mean the 7 that you were just mentioning?
I'm sorry?
You mean that number that started with a 7 that you just mentioned?
Yeah, so, and again, we're not even close to getting that number yet, but from what I've worked with Connie so far, based upon the new budget, we are 7.7 million over what property taxes and the ED 29 roughly says of what they sent us this past April.
So that would be the additional.
Right.
Additional local.
Yeah.
So that would be what we're required, plus the additional, plus what the state pays us. So I didn't add in there for the revenue side any of the title stuff.
So it's set, the total is 17.9. Because we are already 10 million. in.
Correct.
Okay.
Now, and again, there's a lot of the system-wide stuff that we're going to be cutting off. I mean, like I mentioned
Right.
about the way of just the bus and van wages,
Right.
it says $1 million, and it can't be more than 500,000 if it's just us.
Right.
So there's a
Right.
lot more that we have to
And there's no
narrow
revenue
down.
in there, like for title?
What's that?
There's no revenue?
I did not add the revenue for title because Connie has not got that to us yet.
Uh-huh.
And ED 279 is based upon
The old model.
the old model
Oh,
and
oh,
also
yeah.
what they sent us based upon last year's numbers.
Will they do a new one for us?
They just did, but they won't go, they're not willing to do the extra footwork because we're not technically withdrawn yet. But once we withdrawn, they are willing to do the actual kit and caboodle. But at least they gave us something, right? So it's something to go by.
So you're saying our whole budget right now is 17.9 million,
Yep.
So far,
and Dixfield's at 16?
right?
Yeah.
So, you know, once Connie and I and whoever else wants to help goes through and gets the answers from Leah and basically narrows down that system-wide stuff, I'm hoping that we can shave up at least 2 more million off of that, at least.
You
Oh,
should be
yeah.
able to.
Yeah, with the
Right.
Doesn't make any sense.
title money coming in there too.
Because there's also some positions that are in there that we're not even gonna have still, so.
Right. Right.
Right.
But it's just a process, we have to go line by
Right.
line,
Yes.
by line, by line. Now, the other thought, and maybe not for this budget, but between June, or whatever, to it passing, you know, let's say it does pass, do we want to also maybe look at Dixfield's budget and look line by line and see what they're doing as far as how many teachers for each grade, for each,
I
you
would go
know?
with Raymond's, because they're closer in size, see?
Okay.
If we can-
I'm just
I think
saying,
they have
pick a
all their-
school, right? I mean,
Right.
whether it's Dixfield, I mean, I just mentioned Dixfield because they went through the withdrawal process
Right.
and things like that. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, just so we're
Raymond
on the
just
same page.
Withdrew too.
So,
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they did. They joined with Monmouth and then they pulled out.
do you know what RSU
It's like
there?
2 years.
Raymond
Is
or
it
Richmond?
2? Richmond. Richmond,
Oh,
sorry. Richmond.
yeah, okay, I was gonna say Raymond.
I
Okay,
think
so
that's what she's
Richmond.
been using.
Wasn't
Yeah.
it 56, I thought?
No, it was
56 is Dixfield's.
RSU 2.
Oh, right, yeah. Well, let me just look them up while you guys
Because
talk
Matt
about
worked
this
for
stuff.
them for a little bit.
During that.
Mm-hmm. That wasn't 4. It's 2, but I don't know what it is now.
Okay. All right. I need new business.
I want to talk about your little sheet.
Okay. Let's talk about it.
Everybody know what I'm talking about?
No.
My visit to Nazinska Valley Garage this morning.
Oh, yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So do you want to tell them what you got?
I sent everybody this.
Oh, well,
I'll tell everybody.
nobody has any thoughts on it?
I don't know if I got it.
Or we keep them to ourselves?
I sent it out this morning. The entire fleet is 12 buses. 3 of them are out of commission. So there's only 8 running right now. We have 6 runs a day, morning and afternoon. The fuel cost per week is approximately $2,700. We get our fuel from Community Energy in Bethel. The diesel fuel additive is $2,000 a year.
Do you have their own pumps there?
They have a diesel pump.
They have a diesel
Yes.
pump?
Yes.
Okay.
There's a little bus that was supposed to be for special ed. It's not, it's broken. He said that all the buses, including that little one, that were purchased with COVID funds were all a piece of crap.
Oh.
And they're falling apart. He said buses are meant to run on city roads, and that these roads out here are shaking these buses apart. His garage is not big enough for him to do bus maintenance. He's got like this much space between him and the side of the bus. His bus garage is super narrow. And so he does things like make sure the antifreeze level's okay and the oil level's okay and there's enough windshield washer fluid, and he can replace windshield wipers and that kind of stuff. He can't change tires. He can't do any major engine repair. It all has to get sent out. It goes to Murray's, and we are not a priority. At Murray's, they get around to it.
These are thoughts that why we didn't have a mechanic for a long time, and I fought it all the way because there's no tools, there's no lift, there's no anything. And as far as windshield wipers and windshield fluid and antifreeze, that is the bus driver's responsibility every morning to inspect their bus and do those little things. So other than if he has a bus driver license,
He does.
there's really.
Did you say they were doing oil changes though?
No, they go out for oil changes.
Oh, even oil changes?
Yeah, they can't.
Because
miss it.
there's no place for them to send the used oil. There's no, what did I write?
Put it
There's
in
no
the
mechanism
dump,
for
put it in the
disposal.
dump.
there's no mechanism for them to dispose of the used oil, and there's no place to store the oil that they would use to change it.
Huh.
Each bus needs a yearly inspection, and they're due in August, and they get sent out for inspection.
So they don't even have an inspection.
He's licensed to do inspection. He doesn't have the equipment.
But I don't know if you can do your own.
I don't know.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's why for a long time I fought it all the way not to have a mechanic down there because it was kind of senseless.
Mhm.
Because there's no equipment there for
Right.
them to do anything. And as far as that stuff that you told me he does, that should be done by the bus driver every morning when they get to school.
Is the guy that's there capable of doing more? Do we know?
Yeah, he says he is. He's
Well,
got a
he has a bus
license,
driver license, so you wouldn't want to get rid of him.
and he has a
No,
license
I'm
to
just
do
asking
bus
if he's
inspections.
capable of actual legit repairs.
We just don't, yeah, we just don't have the facility.
We don't
Right.
have the facility for him to do it.
Murray's, is that over by Beals Pond and Turner?
Yep.
Yes. And so they also send buses out to O'Connor's for other major repairs that Murray can't do. Murray charges $100 an hour, and if the repair takes an hour and 5 minutes, Murray's charges us for an hour and 15 minutes. O'Connor charges us for 2 hours if it's an hour and 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So,
Couldn't be an hour and a half, could it?
no, because they do hours.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's
there's no
ridiculous.
dispatcher, but he said he's expecting to have power school there this summer. And he thinks that that will give him a little bit more flexibility to be able to contact parents if there's an issue. 'Cause right now, the scenario happens the way we talked about it.
Yeah.
That Janie Sue doesn't get picked up, and Janie Sue's mother calls school, and there's nobody answering the phone till 7:30.
Right.
Awful.
And Janie Sue got missed at 6:20.
So if one thing's for a fact, if this all goes through and happens, we already have a vision of how we can make that way better than it is,
Yes,
in theory.
yes, we do.
Thanks for doing that.
You're welcome.
Oh, and I like this one right here, the one about the wages, that they would quit.
Yeah, that's what he said. I mean, he just did the, off the record, let me just say to you that if you guys withdraw, most of us are leaving. Because Jay and Poland pay $30 an hour, and you guys only pay 24.
So why wouldn't they leave them? And go to Jay and
Right.
Poland?
I don't know.
Why does a withdrawal actually
Have
trigger
anything
that?
to do with it?
I don't know.
So,
I just wrote down what he said.
I think we should, okay, so just budget $30 per bus driver, then you'd be all set.
so I'm looking at Richmond's
Except for we
budget.
can't pay them that till the
Yep.
contract.
Right.
They have 500 to 600 kids. Their budget this year, 9.1 million.
Wow.
The total?
Somebody doing something wrong.
But how many, they have one building?
That I don't know, but still, that's
more.
They got Tom Petroselli over there.
Make sure he runs for school.
He's supposed to be here, he's helping them out.
How are they doing that? How are they doing that?
I have their entire budget, so maybe at some point we should go line by line and just see.
Yeah,
How many more?
I will help you.
Open the chat sheet.
They have 500 to 600, it's about us, because we're going by last year's numbers, we're at 522.
Yeah, and our average of the last 2 years is 482.
Right. So,
In theory, it can be done.
in theory, we should be, and that's not even covering, that's not even added revenue, that's their just expenses.
Oh,
1
okay.
million.
I'm so curious. I'm willing to help you with it. I gotta know how they do it. I gotta know how they do it.
You know, I mean,
And that's the biggest thing about the central office that matters. We get like $67,000, and the way she has it structured now, that is going to be the biggest burden on the townspeople, is what we do with the central office. The state just doesn't reimburse for that,
Right.
and it's the thing everybody hates the most.
Yeah, central.
So hopefully we get good people that can run efficiently, but
Yeah, that's what we're hoping.
I don't want to be top heavy. I'd rather spend the money on the kids and
I
do
agree.
this good. Make it worth it for the kids,
right.
Any other
which
business?
we never talk about yet.
Do we want
money.
to talk and maybe vote on creating a subcommittee to look for
Oh, yes.
Yes,
central office locations?
I agree.
Okay.
I need a motion.
I'll motion that we create a subcommittee to look at our options for central office in our 3 towns.
Second it.
All in favor? Okay.
I'll be on it.
Nominate Jesse.
I'll help you out.
Sweet. Anybody else?
Get a person from the other town or?
What's that? Isaac? Okay. So 3, we think that's good enough? I mean.
I would think so.
Huh?
I would think so.
Because what I'd like to do is actually go and visit these sites and actually look at them.
Yeah, like go
I
into
mean-
schools
Yeah, and to see.
and say, that might be okay. And as far as, she sent a note about something about a conference room or something, because I had brought up putting the people in the school, and I said when we would negotiate, we've used the library before, not the the library, and we've used
Right.
the home ec room.
Send her options number 3, conference space. Any space selected will need to have location for a conference room.
So, yeah, you do kind of need, like, if you were gonna go in a school building, you'd want to have, like, say if you were in the elementary school, you'd want, like, it at the end of the hallway, a couple of rooms with a door. So that people could come
Right.
in.
Right.
But, I mean,
Right.
it's a part-time superintendent. How fancy does this really need to be?
So I was talking about that space across from the bathrooms at the elementary school where, what'd you guys say was in there now?
So that's gonna, those spaces are all getting used though, because
Right.
we're going public pre-K.
Oh, yeah.
So they're gonna move stuff out there, so.
I mean, I know that the 6th grade is going to the high school, and I know that there's less kids, but because of all the 514s, and I can't think of the other word for it. Yeah, I'm sorry, 50, yeah.
But I told you, there's also sprawl.
A lot
in
more
those schools
kids
where they
are required to have
spread their
sprawl.
stuff out,
So,
Put stuff
I
everywhere,
don't know,
claim
but-
space.
Could we make one of those work?
I mean, we'll definitely consider it.
One of those-
Now, Isaac and Jesse, are we
I don't
okay
see why
with just meeting by email and talking on the phone? We don't actually have to come one of these and say, hey, let's come up with a list, and we go email back, and hey, let's meet here at this time, if we can even make it simple.
The,
Yep.
but the
Cool.
portables
Yeah, I'm
have
good with that.
plumbing already
Has
to go.
anyone
I like to go on
seen
the fly.
the interim budget that I got from Barbara on that thing that
But
you
we have to
have?
talk about
I
some
mean, back when
where it's gonna go.
You did it like 4 meetings
Withdrawal?
ago or something, 4 or 5 meetings ago, you.
Yeah, but was that back when they
It
were
was like
Interesting.
$165,000. I had Cameron put it on there for me because I didn't know how.
I think I have
Just
a
wanna make
hard
sure
copy
it's
of it.
there.
I'm sure I have it somewhere, just finding it right away. Let me look.
So I think it was 165.
Should mention it to the
What is
subcommittee.
now. For cost, probably 250.
You asking about portables?
Yeah. Didn't you say there was a bathroom space in those?
There is,
Yeah, they're-
yes.
they're-
They're already ready to go. There's a toilet, there's a sink, there's
We could move one of
grab
those.
bars, but they're using them for
Place
closets
like
right now because they couldn't hook them up to
Yeah.
anything.
That was a thought, and then the other thought was put it across the street at the elementary school on that lot.
That's on their own, yeah.
So I talked to the code enforcement officer the other day about it, just to see what was what. And the only thing that might be a potential snag was our town would potentially have to get a variance on the setback, just because there's no state setback and it is a state road, but our town ordinance says it's gotta be 75 feet from the center. So on my way home, I'm gonna go pace it out from the center of the road and just see like how far back it can go, because it gets kind of wet on that lot. But
But doesn't Sumner have the ability for the, to,
grant a variance?
Yeah.
Yep. We have an
So-
appeals board, so.
are we talking about the transition budget?
Yeah, I think that's what.
Where it says software client, like, where basically, yeah. I have-
Yeah, and the superintendent,
Yeah.
contract was at the same
Yep,
time, and it
yep.
has was it $20,000 for the interim superintendent?
No.
I'm looking. Yeah, 20,000.
Was it? Wow.
Yeah. But that was a long time ago, for one.
Yeah, that was 2018,
And it was also
and it was just from here
like 3
till
months
they
worth?
hired
5
one,
months?
like,
4
from
months?
January to June.
See you
Yeah, so
later.
like 5 months worth, maybe 4 months.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, that kind of makes, that's track, you add 8 years plus.
Yeah, so we'll have to have that, use that as a template to see what we're gonna need to hit the taxpayers up for.
Because that total that came up with for there was 165,000.
So say we have 100 left,
you know? I don't know where we are on the legal fees.
Right. I don't either. Cam, oh no, Cam's only paying Connie's
I mean,
bill.
some, yeah, no, it's true. Yeah, we're gonna need all that crap. You had a question about technology? Do you want to do it after the meeting or now?
No,
Because I'm more than happy to answer whatever you want.
If you said that was enough to make it work, I was fine with that.
It's enough to make it work as long as we keep the 2 level 1s,
Yeah.
one in each
Yeah.
building.
Uh-huh.
And what she proposed was 10 hours a week for the management purposes and also the back end, which is the firewalls and stuff like that, to make sure it jives. And then if emergency happens, obviously show up. That's kind of what you're looking at for that. So,
Does any, sorry, were you done?
not quite. And because
Random thought.
and because it's contract, it's just the hourly rate.
Yeah.
So we don't have to worry about benefits, don't have to worry about any of that stuff. It's just flat rate. Now, maybe the first year, either set it up so you figure you take 10 hours a week times how many work weeks there are, right? Because obviously it's not school weeks, it's work weeks, right? And that first 3 or 4 months, you might pound out half of those hours,
Yeah.
get things set up and stuff, and then instead of doing the 10 hours a week, you do 5 hours a week until you get to that total amount.
Right.
That way you don't supersede
So
that
you,
budget.
so you front end load it.
Right, basically.
Yeah.
So as long as that's written in that contract,
And
that
would we
whoever's,
need them in the summer too, though?
what's that?
Would we need them in the summer too? Because it's a full-time position right now, so.
Yeah.
Right, I mean, again, that 10 hours a week through the summertime and everything, yeah. Because again, that level 1 and level 2 is also full-time. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure that they're during the summer as well. So they would also be dealing with, I mean, they're the ones that be dealing with getting the laptops ready, getting the emails ready, all that basic stuff, while the management manages all that, and then also gets the new software installed, gets all the other stuff that's needed for that. And then that person would also go back to the school board and say, do we want to go more cloud? Do we want to go more hardware? Do we want to do this? Do we want to do that? And then the school would have to vote on that, and that would dictate the cost of either software or hardware.
What about school board meetings? Who would run the technology for them?
That would be something that would have to be part of that negotiation. Would that be part of that 10 hours thing?
Or could we get the administrative assistant if they're going to be there? I don't know. That's a tough one, though.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, or can one of these level 1 techs
Right.
run it? Because once it's working and you show them how to use it, and they've done it a few times,
Yeah.
it's not that difficult.
Ask-
Right.
ask-
Did you figure out?
Yeah,
how to-
But Aaron, we know that you're at least level 2. Yeah, I mean, that's the going rate, so, yeah.
Can I ask a question on the, go ahead first before you lose it, because I know I would lose
I
it.
think I want to
That's
remove
still-
my thought. It was kind of random. Well, no, I was just trying to remember because when I went to school at the elementary school, I was in a trailer that was back towards that baseball field, and I could have swore that there was a bathroom in it.
Nope.
Way back then?
Are you sure you didn't create one?
I don't know. I got in a lot of trouble there, but I don't remember doing that. So there was, okay.
Have you been in this?
Waters all day. So,
Is there
Yeah.
one?
one of the considerations that I was thinking about, if we put central office somewhere other than the buildings where all this technology is already housed, how much is that gonna cost us? And is it in a separate line and a separate amount to whoever we pay First Light, whatever?
Well, that's what I was thinking.
Right.
If you keep it here, for example, you're not having to pay, you're gonna have to pay more heating costs, but it's not gonna be as much, right?
Well,
We're not creating a whole new one.
Right, but let's say it's here. I'm sure that Cameron, as the town manager for the town of Buckfield, is going to say, okay, well, the school is going to have to pay a lease fee,
Of course,
which includes,
but I meant outside of our school buildings.
Right.
If they were housed in the school buildings,
right,
it would save on infrastructure.
if there's room. Now,
Like I'm telling you, these schools were both built
Right.
for 350 kids, and you have to be, hopefully we have a superintendent that kind of pushes back on that.
so are we also thinking, because I just want to understand where you're coming from, are we also thinking that we want to, again, not we, but the new school board is going to be trying to have less sprawl of kids who might need it?
Well,
And
it's
just
not
say,
it's not
Be
even the
efficient.
kids. it's the teachers themselves and housing their stuff
Right.
in every space. Like those mobile homes, those will be filled with junk within 3 years.
They already are.
They're storage facilities. If you
Right.
have them, they will use them.
Right.
So,
I mean, the other thing too, you know, as far as resources, if we didn't need one of those modulars, could we make one a central office and leave it right there at the high school? Because then you'd have all those extra resources. You already have power, you already have internet, you already have all that stuff.
But you gotta get
what, you gotta get
water
water and septic out there.
That's it, water.
Well, it'd be cheaper than a lease, though.
But the real question is
Long
this,
term.
is there anything in statute or law that says that you have to have in that building? Why can't that person just get up and go and use a restroom in the school?
I think
I'm
it's
just
working
questioning.
conditions. I mean,
Okay.
That's what the staff's doing now.
that's what, you know,
what is?
The staff use the baths, the kids and the staff
Oh,
use the
yeah.
bathrooms inside.
yeah.
Right.
I
I'm
mean,
just-
we could say this is where it is
Right.
and that's it and that's that. I
I'm
mean,
not saying that down the road that it couldn't be added.
Right,
I'm just saying, at first, to get us by that first 1 or 2 years,
right.
you know, seeing that everybody has to make concessions.
Right.
that's-
Hartford's already getting septic work done.
Right,
It might be
right.
a good opportunity.
Yeah, I figure 45.
That's an
Put
interesting
it on that
thought.
lot.
The fact that they're already doing septic work in Sumner.
I mean, I guess technically, you could use one of the mobile homes over there for
Right,
central
that's
office.
what
But
I
aren't
think
those
it's making
interfering with the kids' playground?
Oh, I think they are. The one on they have to move that anyways, right, to do the septic.
Yes.
I don't think septic is the problem. I think water is the problem.
Yeah.
Septic is
Which
not nearly
water
as expensive
already
as
goes,
water.
town water,
Huh?
to the high school. We have town water
Oh,
to the high
really?
school.
Interesting.
So, I mean, I don't know how much of,
Definitely more space at the high school.
Right.
Yeah, the lot's
Right.
definitely not the best at
Sumner's
this.
really-
I think you could probably have
Elementary school.
a
Yeah, Hartford
much
Sumner
better-
has 7 acres and the high school has 31.
Oh, wow.
It's just narrow at Hartford Sumner, so
Yeah.
it goes.
Right. I mean, obviously, that's what our subcommittee is going to do, is we're going to look at all the possible
and when we
things.
sell some of those, then we could, you know,
Right.
Do
Assuming
any of
that we're not on a
those-
hook for 'em, yeah.
Do any of the ones we have now have a concrete pad under them?
I don't think none of them do.
Yeah, that sucks.
Unless
$125,000.
Unless one of them is sitting, like, on the pavement, then I don't know if you'd call that a concrete pad, but that's,
I mean, yeah, that's another investment, but if you're trying to build,
but as far as
Build
the
it
high
out,
school,
right?
no, they're on blocks. They're on blocks.
125.
think of it
Road
as
it.
maintaining.
they get in anyway.
They are
They're
pretty
gonna be
creative.
Expensive storage sheds.
Yeah.
So, anyway, where are we at?
Well, I agree with Michelle. It'd be great to
Where are we
get
at?
it in
All
one
right,
of
so
the
we have
buildings.
a public comment,
aren't we?
But how do you get to the point where you can get it in one of the buildings?
You say this is where the central
Right.
office is going to be. You have to talk to the principal and say, hey, you know, we're starting this and,
Well, can that be part of your tour?
What's that?
yeah,
Is
you
that
just
gonna be part-
ask him.
Is it gonna be part of the subcommittee to actually go into each school and have
Yeah.
a conversation? I think that-
Absolutely. I think we should go into each school, we should look at the modulars, I think we should look at the land across from the Sumner, we should look at the house and land that was gifted to the town out
Yep.
there.
Yeah, I hear the house is
Also,
on
we
this.
can also look at the facility that Neil King is wants to lease out, which is the old Oxford County building. Just,
Yeah.
just as a thought.
But I think we were paying like the town of Buckfield $10,000 a year.
when we talk
to
about,
lease upstairs, and I don't think that's gonna be.
that building is massive by comparison, so.
Right, but you don't necessarily have to have the whole building. You can break it down.
You know what we have too is, was it last year or the year before, we did use studies of both the buildings down here. Harriman did that. So the use studies of trying to figure out how we could make things work in space. And so they've gone through all those, and we've got all of that. RSU owns that.
But do we have anybody that understands and how to read them?
Did you have an architect come?
Yeah, Harriman.
Yeah.
Harriman did it.
Okay.
Right, but can we actually read them and understand
Should be
them?
able to. It was,
Okay.
they did.
Because I've never looked at one, so I don't know.
Yeah, they
if
did a good
it's easy enough.
presentation on it. It was pretty user friendly.
That's pretty interesting.
Well, you said something about, we're already leasing $10,000 for what?
I think that's what we used to pay here when we were RSU, I mean, SAD 39, I think we used to pay.
When central office was here?
Yeah, I
Right.
think we used to pay 10,000 a year.
Can you guys
request to have it put on the agenda for the Butterfield Select Board to talk about. Keep mentioning it, and I don't think it's happened yet.
Okay.
Okay. Next meeting is Thursday, 5 o'clock.
Before we, I'm
Yep.
sorry.
Make sure we write 5 o'clock and not.
If she hadn't texted my wife, I'd have got here at 6:30.
5 o'clock.
5
Not gonna
o'clock.
lie.
It does say 5 o'clock. What were you going to say?
Remind Jesse it's at 5. It's 4:32. I was like, I guess I'll get going.
Fine print.
I want to know what happens after this week.
Thank you.
I don't know.
Well, but normally we meet the first and the third Thursday of each month, and we've already met the first Thursday, now we're doing the,
Well, this will be 3 days after the school board meeting, so probably have something
You
to
wanna
talk
know what-
about.
I'm sure we will.
The next one after the 18th, is that what you're asking?
no, I'm just saying, are we meeting on the 18th? That's all I'm asking.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay,
I would say we have to.
We are,
Yes.
okay.
The 18th.
I would say.
But I think like
Okay.
July
When will you
and
not be
August.
here?
Can't switch it to the 25th. I will not be here on the
I
25th.
won't be in the 18th.
I'm not here the last week of this month, so.
Will you be here on the 11th?
Yes.
Thank you.
That's
11th,
Thursday?
18th.
Yes.
Okay.
So if anybody didn't realize, there's 2 dates listed on the bottom.
Yes.
Wait,
On there,
The
yeah.
11th and the 18th.
all right, fine, I didn't.
You are running the 11th.
Am I? Okay.
Yeah, you are.
Comes walking over the skid steer. I was going to do something.
Yep.
He's like,
And
says to remind you. it's
Buckfield
at
is
5
running
o'clock,
the
It's
18th.
4:30.
Any other business?
I run the 18th,
Yep.
unless I pass it off to Neil. Just kidding.
Yes.
I figure it's the only meeting I miss, and
Yeah.
I can't believe Judy called me. Michelle, I forgot a game. I'm not
Motion
leaving.
to adjourn?
Seconded.
All in favor? Okay. What did
Thank
she-
you, everybody.
Thank you.